So just going along here, those are... What? So, before we head back to the Mars Lighthouse, let's pick up something I forgot. I am so sorry for overlooking this. I mean, you would think it's really obvious, but it's actually pretty well hidden. And I guess I wasn't following my strategy guide closely enough. You actually have to lift up this boulder. But wait, there's no Djinn underneath the boulder. Where could it be? Well, good sir. You see that single plop of green in the upper right corner of the rocks in the upper left corner? That's actually a bush that you can use Cyclone on. And underneath that bush is the Djinn. May not be as obvious as it would seem. But there's a little sucker, and now he's on my party. So now, we'll be able to get all the Djinns of the game once I finish the Mars Lighthouse. And maybe a little beforehand. Now, onwards back to the Mars Lighthouse. Frickin' yay! Now I'm gonna speed up the backtracking back to where we were because I actually forgot about the Djinn. I mean, we obviously passed right by it, but for some reason, I thought we had to like drop from the sky on top of it in order to get it down from its hiding spot. So there's my excuse for not getting it when we actually had the chance. I don't think it's too far off the beaten path anyways. So might as well leave the speed up in getting back over there so you guys who are following along can get back to where I am. Though I feel kind of bad for you if you're solely relying on me for a guide, because I have not been doing my job at being a good guide lately. I don't know, the post-Isaac party scene has just been a little bit more... what's the term? Rusty in my memory. I love this game and I played it quite a few times over, but then again I think between my last playthrough and the playthrough of this LP was a really long time. But enough making excuses, because there's no excusing this form of incompetence. Except being hasty, but being hasty isn't exactly something to be proud of. Especially when it involves your butt and face getting burnt to shreds a ton of times over. So now that we're sharing the same room as the Djinn, let's actually collect it this time. I mean, I had legitimate reason for thinking I couldn't get this guy right away, but it was so simple to just take a little extra time to go out of the beaten path to actually try and see if I could interact with it while I was on top of that rock. I did legitimately think that we have to fall from the sky on top of it, because we have done it with a Djinn before. But as you see, that was very easy to test just to make sure. I'm surprised no one's actually pointing that out, but I guess that goes to show how many people are actually paying attention to my Golden Sun Let's Play that have at least played the game before. The answer, hopefully 0, because that would be a little bit insulting to you guys and your intelligence. Anyways, nothing too remarkable with this fight. It is just another Djinn that we have to whittle down. I'm surprised I don't summon rush the guy, of all things. I guess I want to try to get summons the legitimate way, just by using up my Djinns. I suppose that summon rushing would be the quicker option, but if I summon rushed everything, wouldn't that get old after a while, even with how amazing the animations look for summons in this game? That's what I thought. So my reasoning behind casting the Djinns I am is because I am trying to use the new Catastrophe summon we got in the last episode. However, the reason for not having the Djinns ready to begin with is probably because I was rushing into it. I did not prepare myself properly, and as punishment, I will be suffering for the lack of convenience of being able to have a quick battle. On a solo related tangent, you'd think it would be odd to have a Mercury Djinn in a fire-based lighthouse, but they actually do a good job putting it in an environment that actually would make sense for a Mercury Djinn to be in. So that's something I gotta give the game props for, assuming that it's probably not that great of an idea to put all Mars Djinns into this lighthouse, Considering we had an area where there already was a bunch of Mars Djinns. Actually, I think Magma Rock only had one Djinn that was Mars, and the chance to get a Djinn from the first game that was of the Mars element, but I'm pretty sure there are situations that really used up a lot of the Mars Djinns. So I'm glad they at least put the Mercury Djinn in an environment that was suitable for it. Oh, I actually am going to show off the Catastrophe summon in advance. I really wasn't prepared for the fight if I'm making the Djinns for it as I go along in the battle. A lot of people in the Golden Sun community, I guess, would consider that a more legitimate way of doing it. Of course I KO'd the Djinn right before I can get the summon off though. Typical Let's Play luck, but then again I will show it off eventually. Just not today. And meet you back in a sec. So back here on the teleport panel that we started the episode on, now that we got all the Djinns that we currently can up to this point, I say we actually move on to actually make progress in the episode. To actually go here and go somewhere new. To make new progress though, we'll have to go through the same area we went through before, again. I'm sorry, when I was recording this seemed like the only way that I could actually show you guys where to go without getting too lost. And actually it's quicker than if I were to just go here from where I got the Mercury Djinn at. Because this teleport tile pretty much takes us in the direction we want to go. There's going to be the race repeat from the last episode, but then again, it's a race. There's worse things that could be redone. And they're off! Felix, the amazing earth-bending adept, versus the face of fire. Round 2. Will Felix be able to get another victory upon his belt? Or will Mr. Face win this time? And result in us getting burnt in the face. Hopefully there won't be any face burning, because getting burned in the face could be incredibly painful. Looks like Felix will be able to pull a victory from his cap this time. His non-existent cap, of course, because there was no worry of a victory being defeated at all. So we're just about at the point I wanted to be at. The point that you guys have already seen. Thankfully we don't have to worry about that dragon burning our butts and pushing us down a pit with fire. Because that would be painful. And any pain that you don't have to experience the second time is okay by me. Granted, it'd probably be nice not to have the pain suffering in the first place, but yeah, you can't have everything. So in actuality, we're not too far from the next major destination of the lighthouse. Just instead of going through that area to get the Soul Blade, we just head down. And at long last, we're finally in somewhere new. Though it might not be that exciting of a new area at first. If I recall, it's going to be mostly just a pretty long corridor of walking with a few random battles. There'll be some interesting environment in the future in this area. So I guess there's that to look forward to. Now before we investigate the area up there, I actually want to get into a random battle. I just realized this from the last random battle. We still gotta show off that Catastrophe summon. And I think these gigantic jerks are a perfect case to try it out on. Just gonna blast away on them besides that. Enjoy the nightmare of Catastrophe that brings the doom and destruction to all who oppose it. With a little bit of its dark wind magic, it released a pyramid of destruction and death onto the world. In a tiny condensed little area just for you, Mr. Monster. It lost. It actually withstand the attack, both of them. Well, at least we got to see the side effect of the summon. Jeez, what's with these enemies that are just random battles, resisting my most powerful attacks and not getting swept by them? I mean, this is a random battle. I should be able to take these guys out in one turn. I know I've complained about this before, but that's kind of the thing. Getting levels from random battles aren't so bad if they go by quick enough. If they drag on, it kind of kills the fun of having battles. The really long battles are supposed to be for the boss fights, you would think. At least mini boss fights. But with all the healing and getting my Djinns back on set taken care of, let's investigate this. Looks like 2 dragons frozen into the ice. Other than that, it's a complete dead end. Oh well. Wonder what happens if I set this ablaze. Okay, that might not be a great idea. I don't want these things to come out of the ice. They're pretty content being in there. I'm content with them being inside and not killing me. Oh my god, they're still not out of the ice. Well, let's go take care of some forging I should have done before coming to the lighthouse. So, we don't got too many more forging trips. In fact, this is the last one I'm going to be showing on screen. First of all, showing the items I already did forge, because we've already forged them a couple times. For Isaac, he has the Millennium Helm, which I believe I used the Golem Orb on to get. Now for the Merle of Silver. It can be turned into either the Levitine, the Merle Armlet, the Merle Blade, the Merle Clothes, the Merle Helm, or the Psychic Circlet. Which it will be, we'll just have to see. Out the door, and then we'll be in awe of what it is. Oh look, it's a Merle Armlet, galore! That will actually be the end of today's episode of Let's Play Golden Sun the Lost Age. On the next episode, oh, you'll see what we'll be doing in just a sec.